Hey there YouTube, it's Bobby aka Paginator, and I'm here today with two unboxings. We have the Bookish box and the Fairyloot box for the month of July, and we might as well just get started, right? We're going to start with the Bookish box. Now, while we're talking about subscription boxes, I've got to eliminate one. I have like 4 now, and I can't keep doing this to myself. One's Scrollbur, which is a writing subscription box, and the other 3 are all about reading and bookish goodies and books. But I've got to decide. I don't know which one to pick. So maybe this month's round of boxes will help me. Okay, what have we got in here? I see. Oh shoot, I saw what the book was. Okay. Alright, let's move beyond that and pick out some of these other items. We have some coffee, which is Lou's Sticky Buns flavored coffee from Fable Grounds Coffee. And I can't smell it without opening the package, but I want to give it away to someone because I don't drink coffee. Quandary. I'll figure that out later. Alright, here we've... Oh, what's this? A Court of Thorns and Roses. What in the world? Okay, so we've got this leather notebook. Oh my gosh, okay. So on the back we see a quote, "We need hope or else we cannot endure," by Sarah J. Maas. And then we've got this, how do you undo? Okay. It wanted to stick for a second, but we're getting it out. Okay. So, is this like a pin notebook? Oh my gosh, you can put your pins in there. That is so cool. Oh, I don't know if you can see that very well. There's all these little spaces for you to stick enamel pins. How cool! Oh my gosh. Okay, so my students, of course I'll have a new crop of them this year, but some of them I get again because I teach 2 grades. And I've got a group of girls that just go gaga over all my bookish stuff, so I can put all my pins, or a bunch of them anyway, in this notebook, and then they'll be ready to show off. Alright, so my battery died. We're just having interruptions all over the place, but I was just telling you about this pin, which is inspired by Serpent and Dove, and I was saying how I should probably reread Serpent and Dove before I read Blood and Honey. Of course, I don't have Blood and Honey, so I can probably put that off for a while. Okay, we've got a theme card, which I didn't see at first. Beautiful but Deadly is the theme. And then we have our tarot cards. Oh. We have Miss Katniss Everdeen. She is the 9 of Wands card. And then we have King of Swords, which looks like the White Witch from the Chronicles of Narnia. I don't know if that's who it's supposed to be, but that's who I'm going to choose to believe it is. What is this? It's a sword. Let's see what this says on the card, if I can get it out of the plastic. So we have a little sword that says Damaris. Damaris? I should know what that is. The card says, though magic might have vanished, it seemed that the power that had forged the blade whirled on. This cursive font that they used is hard to read. Damaris, she whispered, naming the blade from Throne of Glass. That's where I know this from. I was getting worried that it was like a Game of Thrones thing, but I've never read Game of Thrones or seen the show, so that wouldn't make sense that I would know that name. I do know there's a character in Game of Thrones named Daenerys. Maybe that's what I was thinking of. Alright, we've got a little pink pouch here, and it looks like we've got some earrings. So the card says, inspired by the lovely Aelin, used for her protection, the Eye of Elena, or Eye of the Goddess according to Manon. Another Throne of Glass inspired item. Okay, that makes sense. Yes. I want to reread that series too. Dang. Man and Abraxas, the parts about them, they're some of my favorite bits in that series. Oh, yeah. Okay. Moving on. Okay, we've got a little bookmark here that says, I spent my life folded between the pages of books. Quote from Tahereh Mafi. And we've got the eyes, because all of her books have eyes on them. Or not all, but a lot of them. And then we have the book for the month, which unfortunately is a book that I already have. I haven't read it. It is Girl Serpent Thorn by Melissa Bashardust. And it says, sometimes the princess is the monster. I got this book. Oh. Signed book plate fell out. Come on, show yourself. There. I got this book from another subscription box, and it looks different. So first let's take a look at this one naked, because I can tell there's something on the cover there, which is kind of scaly like a snake. That's pretty. This is the other edition that I got, and it's got green sprayed pages on it. I think this came in a Fairyloot, because they always have sprayed pages on their books. Cannot recall. Anyway, I now have... Ooh. Anyway, I now have 2 lovely editions of this book. So, ooh, if it's suitable for my students, I can take one to school and keep it there, and keep one here for myself. So we're now going to open the Fairyloot box. Of course, we see the lovely Fairyloot logo on top. And we'll give you guys the first look. Always taking a moment to appreciate the inside of that box. It's gorgeous. Okay, so our card says that our theme is Resilient Royals. And again, this is the box for the month of July, even though this is being filmed and uploaded at the beginning of August. That's okay. And we've got some cards here on top. And we've got the Ace of Swords and 2 of Swords. I cannot recall who these are supposed to be. I'm sorry. Okay, I can see there's a lot of items in here, so I'm going to reach in and grab one, and we'll take a look. Ooh, what have I got? Oh. Squigglies are everywhere. Okay, we have what appears to be a pillowcase with a zipper, so you can slip your pillow insert inside. And it says, through love, all is possible. And then on the back is actually different. It's still got the moon and the different, and some little hearts and things, but not quite the same design, which is kind of nice that it's not the same on both sides. And the quote is from Sarah J. Maas, although like all kinds of people have said that and similar things, but I'm sure it was a word for word quote that came out of one of her books. We're getting a lot of Sarah J. Maas stuff today. Not mad at it. Okay, we've got a little pouchy here. What is this going to be? Ha! My favorite! My favorite! My favorite kind of bookmarks are magnetic bookmarks, and we have 3 lovely animals here. We've got a cheetah, a llama, and an ocelot, or sloth. Which one? I don't know. Probably a sloth. This is inspired by Woven in Moonlight, which is an absolutely darling, wonderful book. I loved it, loved it, loved it. If you ever get a chance to pick up a copy, definitely go for it. Okay, here we've got another pouch that's plain white, and what shall be inside? Okay, so this is a little card holder you could stick inside your wallet, or use it for whatever purpose you so desire. And it says Queen's Rising on the little white envelope. So taking a look at it, it does seem to match the aesthetic of the Queen's Rising cover. Hang on a second, I'll show you. So here is the cover of the Queen's Rising, and you can see how that matches really well. Nice. Next we have a candle, and it says the Ash Crown Fairyloot exclusive black currant tea. This is made by In the Wick of Time, and it's white color. That does smell very much like berries, and so that makes sense. Black currant. Lovely. Now what in the world is this? One should never save cake for later when it can be eaten now. Look at this. It's like a little dish. It has a quote from Winter by Marissa Meyer on it about the importance of eating cake. Now, I have mixed thoughts on that quote because I hate frosting. Don't yell at me. So I suppose this is just a food tray, or you could use it for a jewelry tray or whatever you so desired. It's kind of cute. I don't know if I would serve food on it, just because if anybody that comes to my house to eat food was ever there, they wouldn't understand or know what it was, and it's wouldn't be appreciated. So I'll probably use it for something else. I should clarify that by stating that the only people who ever really come to my house are my family, and they come like maybe once a year. And occasionally my students drop by, but we always just talk on the porch. I don't invite them in, so yeah, that's about it. Okay, ooh, we have an art print, and it is on both sides. Interesting. Okay, so it is the same on both sides. Who have we got? Let's see if the information card will tell us. Art print. The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden, Vasa and Morozco. The Bear and the Nightingale. That book sounds so familiar, but I'm sure that I haven't read it. But that name Vasa sounds very Russian to me, so it's probably set in the Russian wilderness, I'm guessing. If you've read it, let me know. Alright, all that remains in the box is this lovely Bookish pouch here. So I'm assuming there will be a newsletter inside along with the book. Oh, yep, I've got some items in my hand. We have a bookmark with a princess lounging in a throne, as she should, which is part of the theme card. We've got a Dear Reader letter from the author, so I'm going to set that aside for a second, and I actually don't want to spoil myself with anything here, so we'll hold off on those two things, and we'll reach in for the book. Now I can see the top. It's got black sprayed edges on it, and what's it going to be? Shielded by Kaylin Flanders. An ancient evil, a broken kingdom, and one girl with the secret to save the world. Lovely. And we shall read the Dear Reader letter because that usually gives us some insight into the book. Again, here is the print. For some reason I'm getting like Heidi vibes. Alright, this says, Dear Fairyloot reader, I've always loved words. I believe they hold great power to connect and unify in a world that does its best to divide. I love words so much that I became an editor and helped other people's words shine, but it wasn't until I was 29 that I decided maybe I had my own words to share. Jenna's story started as a little spark, a dream, actually. I know. But the dream was vivid and powerful, the kind that leaves you thinking and feeling for weeks afterwards. Because the dream ended on a cliffhanger with a teen girl in dire peril, I started asking questions, mostly to assuage my anxiety and go back to sleep. How did she escape? Who is she escaping from? Why did she have magic? I spent 3 years asking questions and digging deeper, revising and chipping away until Jenna's story was revealed. It was a lot like the sculptor Michelangelo said. Every block of stone has a statue inside it, and it is the task of the sculptor to discover it. You'll be reading draft 20-ish. But as I revised and chipped away at what wasn't the story, certain aspects started shining. Jenna's magic, her connection to those she loves, the power of deep and abiding relationships and friendships, being comfortable in your own skin, choosing kindness and empathy over hatred and bitterness. Ultimately, I wrote Shielded because the world is dark and messy, and I wanted a book that was hopeful. I wanted a hero I could look up to, someone who confronted hard situations and made the best of them, relationships that were real and deep in a fun, adventurous fantasy. As you read, I hope you find a reprieve from the burdens you carry, and that you turn the last page with a lighter heart than you started with. I hope you, like Jenna, can find the strength to confront the difficulties life throws at you. You are more powerful than you know. Kaylin Flanders. That's a good note. Okay, I feel like I still don't know what this book is about, so I'm going to take a minute and read through what information I can find. Okay, so our main character, Jenna, is a second-born daughter to the king, and as we all know, second-born children are not the heir to the throne in these stories, so her brother has all the magic, he is the heir, and she is promised in marriage to someone else for political gain. On the journey to her future husband, her caravan is ambushed, and she discovers there is a very real and big, large threat against her in her kingdom, and she must do something about it. It does sound a little tropey, like the girl being sent off to marry someone she's promised to and discovers her inner warrior, but also if it is a trope, it's a good trope to be, because heaven knows we need characters who are strong and can battle their way through things. Cool. All right, I will take a quick look at the Fairy Scoop just to see if there's a difference between the cover that we got and the regular cover. Yes, there is. So the Fairyloot edition is green here, and then the regular is blue. I'm sorry, this camera sucks at zooming, so I'm not gonna like fight with that, but anyway, yes, let's see if it gives us the theme for next month. Let the games begin. It says you can expect items inspired by Our Ember in the Ashes, Hunting Prince Dracula, Nevernight Scythe, Aurora Rising, and Harry Potter. Cool. Awesome. Oh, I didn't pick favorite things. So I think for the Bookish box, it would be the leather notebook to put your pins in. And for the Fairyloot box, it would be the magnetic bookmarks, because they are my favorite. But I'm also really excited about this, both of the books. I know I haven't read Girl Serpent Thorn yet, but it's been on my radar. I need to get on that. And this new book from Fairyloot, Shielded, is going to be fantastic, I'm sure. So, yeah. It's time for me to go do something useful with my day. I have homework. So I hope you all have a wonderful and bookish day. Happy reading. Adios.